The New York Islanders defeat the Vancouver Canucks 5-2, where I finally get to watch the Islanders play at 7 o'clock at night. How exciting is that? I would have loved to have been at the game today, except I'm experiencing a little bit of medical issues here that I can't actually leave home right now. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. And before I get into the game, what a great game! My intro music somehow the file that the music that I had got corrupted, and I can't remember where I got it from or what the name is. So I'm gonna have to find some new intro music, I guess, or try to track down the old one the best I can. But anyway, let's get to the game. Islanders 5, Canucks 2. Yeah, that's more like it. A nice, relaxing, easy game, fun to watch. This was a high energy win for the Islanders tonight. We absolutely dominated the Canucks. I think it was a combo pack. Like the Canucks just didn't come to play tonight, and the Islanders really came to play. So you mix those two things in together, and you got what you got tonight, where the Islanders pretty much owned the game, the entire 60-minute games. That's kind of what you call a 60-minute game. So super exciting, and what a huge win. What a huge win. I mean, this trip was looking daunting. It was looking daunting. It really was. It looked like we were only minutes away from going 0-1 on the road trip, and somehow we grab a point, and then we go all the way to the West Coast where I am, and we pull 2 points in our first game against the Canucks. So we're 1-0-1 on the road. And I said if we come out of this thing 500, uh, things are looking good. Like, don't give up on the Islanders when they play like they did tonight, and they give the energy. Even our duffers can look half decent. I don't really have a lot of things to say bad. I really only one person didn't play that well, but that's just beating a dead horse for me. So really super excited how they played tonight. I did notice one thing though. I don't know if you remember, about 2, 3 years ago, Varley had a really hard time giving up the first goal on the first shot. Does anybody remember that about 3 years ago? But usually, every time Varley does that, and he did this 3 years ago too, he'd give it up on the first shot, and then he wouldn't give up a goal for the rest of the game. Now, I know he gave up one late, but it just reminded me a lot of 3 years ago when he was doing that. And yeah, I mean, he didn't have to be great or anything, but he was solid the rest of the way for us. And the Islanders put enough pucks in the net tonight, almost a week's worth for us, that's for sure. So let's get into it. It didn't start well for the Islanders as we gave up the first goal of the game. Uh, how do I say that name? Leaker Mackey from Miller and Hronik. All of a sudden we're in an early hole, down 1-0. I'm just going, oh, it's a good thing I didn't go to this game. And I was going, oh, this is not looking good. But then the Islanders they got right on their horses right after that. They obviously weren't even fazed by giving up that goal. They just played solid hockey for the next 10 minutes. And we started taking it to them. And I don't think I've ever seen the Islanders back check and get so many turnovers from stealing pucks from behind as they did tonight. Like, the boys were really on their toes tonight. They really were. It was quite obvious to see. And finally, we get rewarded with JG Pajot, who has been hot, hot, hot. So way to go, Pager, fifth of the year. So he has really been playing really well for us ever since the injuries, and it couldn't come at a better time. Way to go, JG. Anders and Wally get assists on that. It's a power play goal, and it was a beauty. It was a beauty. It was a design play. We've seen Anders make that pass numerous times, but what a beauty it really was. And way to go, Pager, for bearing it. That's the finish we need. And then Scotty Mayfield, first of the year. First of the year, our third defensive goal of the year. First two were by Cholowski. And now Mayfield gets us a goal. He had a good chuckle after that one. It was quite the deflection by the Vancouver Canucks defenseman. But Scotty getting his first from Bo Horvat. So Horvat's happy. He seems to feast on the Canucks. So he's at a point a game since he's left them, 5 points in 5 games against the Canucks. So good for him to return back to the West Coast and grab a couple of points tonight and put a shellacking on his old team. So all of a sudden, from being down 1-0, uh, we got it tied up to make it 1-1 in the first period. So that was wonderful to get out of that. It was a great road period. But then to have Mayfield score early in the second like that, it was like, holy smokes, just like 10 things look so bleak. And after the first minute of the game, and now all of a sudden we're up 2-1. And then before I could even wonder how shocking that was, we score again. And it's Pierre Engvall with his first of the year. What a game Engvall had. I will state this right now. Before I even get to the player things, my first star of the night was Pierre Engvall. Yep, you heard it correct. You heard it correct. That was his best game as an Islander by a long shot. Like it wasn't even close. Like he was flying out there tonight. And I mean flying. He got 6 shots on net. Uh, Outstanding game for Pierre. Outstanding. Congratulations on getting your first of the year. He's been working for it. Like I said, he's played well the last 5 games or so. Well for Engvall. So, yeah, how exciting is that? All of a sudden, we're up 3-1 in the second period, and I felt different about this 3-1. There was something different about this 3-1. Maybe it was because we were just so dominating in the game. Like we were just all over them, all over them. Like they couldn't move. They couldn't move. And they were so flat-footed out there tonight. Like we were just beating them to every single puck. And if you're not on your toes, that's going to happen. Just exactly what we did. The Canucks had a little bit of a spurt there at the very start of the game, but that was really all they could come up with. Even the third period push wasn't really much of a third period push. It was a little bit. It was probably the best hockey of the game for the Canucks was in the third period, but not by a big margin. They certainly weren't that great. That's for sure. Uh, and Holmstrom picking up an assist on that Wallstrom or the Engvall goal. And Grant Hutton, good for Hutton. Hutton had a really nice game tonight, picking up a couple of assists, and he was really good defensively too. I watched him a lot tonight, so good for Grant getting his point totals up there. And then going into the third period, all I can think of is how many times, and it has to be this exact score, 3-1. How many 3-1 leads have we had in the third period where we've either walked away with only 1 point or no points? And I'm wondering, what am I going to get tonight? And then, of course, the Canucks come out, a little bit of a push, not a whole lot, not a whole lot. And then Palm scores, but I knew that one. I didn't even have to see the replay to know that one was offside. But the point of the matter is, we put the puck in the net, and it it still feels good to a player. He's kind of ticked at it. He's going, I just got robbed a goal, but it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, whether it's called back or not. So uh, way to go, Palms just keeps putting the puck in the net. What an effort he put in to get that puck in the net. Man, he fought hard, hard out front to get that puck. So, yeah, it's too bad because it was a beautiful goal too. And I don't mind offsides, and I think they should be called, but I really hate it when they're that far back. But then you bring into the old axiom, well, the reason we hemmed them in was we would have never got in the first place. So I get it. I get it. And there's no doubt it was offside. Like I said, I saw it. I knew live that we were offside on that play. And so going into the third period and losing that goal, it's like, oh, is that what's going to come back to haunt us, that goal? But no, El Capitano, Anders Lee with his seventh goal of the year, tying Palms now for the team lead at 7 goals each. These guys are on about a 38 goal pace each. Palms and Lee, well done, boys. These guys are just getting younger as they get older. It's amazing. Bo Horvat picking up his second assist on that Anders Lee goal. So, and what a beautiful, amazing pass. On my last podcast, I said Horvat can't make the easy pass, and he missed a couple of really easy passes tonight too. But then he threads the needle to Anders like that on a beautiful pass. I simply just don't get it, Bo. I don't get it. But if you get 2 points tonight, you're not going to hear a whole lot from me, that's for sure. And lo and behold, yes, we got an empty net goal. But before we got that empty net goal, we had to kill a 6-on-4. And I couldn't believe it. At 6-on-4, we defended better than we do against 6-on-5. We defended better than we do 5-on-4. It was 6-on-4. We should be absolutely getting 100% dominated, except we just stayed in a box. Like we didn't do that one guy up, one guy back thing. When it was 6-on-4, we just put up corner posts, four corner posts, and they just stood there. They just stood there and watched the Canucks chuck it around and chuck it around and chuck it around. Ours are more than happy to do that. So yeah. And then lo and behold, hard to believe. Yes, we got an empty net goal. Noah Dobson scores our fourth defensive goal of the year. So now we've got three defensemen who've scored goals. If it's an empty netter, who cares? Noah, take it. That's a lot of times that's what breaks the ice for a lot of players, and I've been one of them who broken out of a slump from scoring an empty netter. I know there's just something about it. I know it's ridiculous. You're just depositing a puck into an empty net, but it's just that feeling. And you hear your name get announced over the PA speaker, and it's a goal. It's a goal, and it pads your stats. So, so well done, Noah. And then in fitting fashion, Varley gives up a goal on his first shot of the night, and he gives up a goal on his last shot of the night. Tyler Myers made a nice little move there. There's no big deal. Yeah, they scored, made it 5-2, but the game was well in hand for the Islanders at that point. And I didn't mind that goal because Myers is on my fantasy team. So, it didn't hurt us either way. So I'll take it. So anyway, that's a game there. And you have to be happy. You have to be happy with the Islanders tonight. You really do. I thought to myself, this game has the written all over it of written all over it that all the way to the West Coast from the East Coast with a short stop over. I mean, the biggest part of the trip was going from the island to Edmonton. That's a 4.5 hour flight or 5 hour flight. And it's just a 1 hour, 1.5 hour flight from Edmonton to Vancouver. So they were pretty much out of the West Coast. However, I had this happen to me at times when I was playing at high altitude. And it happened every time. Like I've always said that teams like Edmonton, Calgary, and Colorado have such a huge advantage being so high up. I mean, Colorado's a mile high and Calgary is 4,000 feet. So they're getting pretty close to a mile as well. But you play in that atmosphere, and you, especially the Islanders coming from we're a sea-based team and going up into that altitude, the guys, I'm telling you, it cuts a good 15 to 20 seconds off your shift that you normally do. However, working the other way, when you leave that atmosphere and you go back down to sea level, all of a sudden you feel like Superman. You feel like you can go forever. You're getting so much oxygen. And after, playing in the thin air, and I'm telling you, if nobody's ever been up high, I mean, every time I go to Calgary, I find the first night I have a little bit problems breathing. I'm just not getting enough oxygen, and all of a sudden I can feel myself breathing. It makes a huge difference. It really does. And then to go out and put full effort and you can't get any oxygen, oh man, does that deplete your energy in a hurry? But I'm super excited about the Islanders tonight. Well done, boys. All right, let's talk about the guys tonight. Max Siplikoff, just rinse and repeat. What a great game by Max. Man, that hit he laid on Quinn Hughes. Yeah. You know how hard it is to hit Quinn Hughes? That guy is deceptive. He is so deceptive. And man, did he lay him out. And the beautiful thing about it is there's Sip at 6'3", and there's Hughes at 5 foot nothing or whatever he is, but he laid that shoulder right there, right at the bullseye, right at the bullseye. He just nailed him right there. Didn't come anywhere near his head, so it shows it can be done. But just some super passing by Max again tonight, getting his typical ice time. Didn't get any points tonight though, but still had a good game. Wasn't his best game, but you know what? All Islanders played well. All Islanders -1. So and I think who that one is when I get to him. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet this time. So no need beating a dead horse over it. But Sipkoff, just another bang up game. And the funny thing about it was too, did you see what he did on the Palms goal that was called back? He was ticked because he had the puck. The guy slashed the stick out of his hand and he does this to the referee, and he's ticked at the referee for not calling it. But at that time, we'd already had four power plays, and the Canucks had none. And so he looks at the ref, and he's not going to do nothing. So he just takes the Canuck and just boom, just smokes him with the two gloves. And I can't remember. I think it was Palms came with the puck. And he just cleared the way for him, no problem, and he didn't even have a stick. So great job, Sip. Another good game by Simon Holmstrom. Really starting to see a lot of flashes in this guy now. So really super excited about that. He got another couple shots on net. He was a plus tonight. So uh, really excited about Simon's game, the way it's progressing. Like it's actually coming to fruition of what people are talking about. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think he had it in him. So uh looking at him because he was such a slow progressor, but I'm telling you, he seems to understand it now. He seem to got it. Maybe he's caught up to the speed of the game and all that fun stuff. And he looking really good. He's looking really good. There's a reason we're a game over 500. And it's players like Pajot and Holmstrom who've really rise to the occasion since these five injuries. I mean, did a fantastic job. Fantastic job tonight. Bo Horvat, what can you say about Bo? Returns home and well, it's not home, but he lived there for 9 years. So, being the captain of the team, you certainly want to go back there and show that, I still got it. I still got it. And he did that. He picking up a couple of apples tonight. So good for Bo. Got a +1, 17 and a half minutes of ice time, a couple of shots on net. Can't complain about that. Good job, Bo. All right, let's talk about Matt Martin. He's just too slow. He's just too slow and we get hemmed in every time. And I can't even find anything good about him. The only thing I can is he fought tonight, and it was a fight that we didn't really need. And it was one thing I've noticed about Matt, and don't get me wrong, I don't blame him. I fought a lot, and I know I know how it feels. Like I have had fights where I have absolutely destroyed a guy, but the guy got one punch in. And I felt that punch for like a week and a half, 2 weeks in my face, like just having I couldn't even touch my skin. So I get it. I can see Matt is still fighting, but he's making sure not to get hurt. And I'm all for him with that. I'm all for you, Matt. Like I don't want to see you throwing haymakers with some young kid who's taller than you and that. So he just smartly wrapped him up real quick, pulled the jersey over his head, and that. And technically, that should have been a penalty to the Canucks, but since we'd already gotten so many power plays, they didn't give us one for that. So, uh, yeah, I don't mind Matt taking care of himself. I definitely do not want to see Matt get hurt. But let's face it, he's just too old. He's too slow, and he's hurting us right now. And we're still getting pegged in our own end with Matt on that line. And what do you get tonight? You got 6 minutes and 40 seconds, but it's just 6 minutes and 40 seconds too much. And I hate to say that. So, but anyway, I said I was going to keep it short, and I'm obviously not keeping it short. However, I'm not ranting this time. I'm just talking about it. I'm just talking about it. Pierre Engvall, best game as an Islander tonight. Best game as an Islander. 6 shots on net, has a goal post on what should have been a breakaway, but old Scotty got nailed for. I didn't really think it was a penalty, but whatever. We had so many more power plays than them that I gave it to him. But the point of the matter is once again, Engvall was fine, and he hit the post, got a good shot off, put it in the right place. We're talking an inch one way, and that puck's in the net. So not that it would have counted, but his whole game, like he was all over the place. He was flying. He was just flying. He was defensively, he was fantastic, fantastic defensively. He was coming back, breaking up plays, like really good game from Pierre tonight. So really pleased, and I'm happy for him that he did. And I'm never not going to cheer for an Islander, no matter who they are, except for, well, you know he who shall not be named. Well, no, not that guy. The other, another guy that I don't talk about very much. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And I don't want to say it because I don't want to upset the Islander fan base, but I really didn't like him. So, uh, but yeah, so there is that. Now, let's see. We got Palms. Pumped. Scored again tonight. Sure, it was called back, but he got himself an apple. He's a +2 tonight. Got a couple shots on net. Was gaining the zone like crazy tonight. He had the puck on his stick a lot. Like he was possessing the puck a lot tonight. So I don't know what Palms and Lee are drinking. We were talking about it tonight on the message board, but it's the Fountain of Youth something, man. I'm telling you, because those two guys just look re-energized, re-energized. I thought Wally had a really good game. That was awesome to see. Nice, really nice play on the power play where Wally belongs. Like if we're gonna throw somebody out there, especially with all these injuries, you got to get Wally out there, and it paid off. It wasn't his shot, but it was a nice pass. He knew the play, and it's not as simple as it looks because he put the pass in the right spot. If he puts it to the right of Anders, that goal's not happening. He had to put it to the left hand side that so Anders could flip it in, and you could see Anders putting his stick out like this, and that's exactly where he wanted the puck. That's exactly where Wally put it. I was happy to see Wally get a point tonight. Well deserved, Wally. And oh, I got to take a look at that. That looks big. 13 minutes of ice time for Wally tonight. That is a 3 to 4 minute increase. Well done, Wally. Well done, Wally. Yes, I love it. I love how Patrick does this. He just rewards the people with the ice time. Let's say take a look at Engvall here. Engvall 15:25. That's way above his normal ice time. And that I love how these guys are getting rewarded by their play. It's just awesome. That's just the way you're supposed to run a hockey team. Anders Lee, I don't know what more I can say about this guy. He's just having a great season. He's just having a great season. And I fully expect him now to pull that entire 7 year contract and not be a burden to the Islanders in one little bit. And I would have swore when he signed that contract that we'd be paying the price for the last 3 years. And that's just not happening. That is just not happening. Anders is looking good. Just leave it at that. Brock Nelson, we're still missing that old Brock, but I'm starting to see the little flashes. He's starting to move a little more dipsy doodle. He was a plus tonight, and that got 19 minutes of ice time. A couple of shots on net. He had one right in front of the net all by himself, and he put it in the old breadbasket. He is struggling. He is struggling. He is squeezing that stick tight right now. And it's kind of crazy because I think Brock has 6 goals, right? So for me to be saying that he's squeezing the stick tight at this point of the season, that shouldn't be happening. But I can completely understand why, because nothing is going right for Brock right now. Nothing, nothing. So he's working for every little bit that he gets. So, but we still need more out of Brock, and I think we're going to get it. And this is just the ebbs and tides, right? This is what I talked about. How this is how you win by committee. So Brock Nelson disappears for 2 weeks, but all of a sudden JG Pajot shows up for 2 weeks, right? And that's how it's done. And that's what we've been lacking and missing because when one player was a no-show, all 19 other guys were a no-show as well. And so that wasn't happening. That wasn't happening, but it is starting to happen now. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, I got to do this for my American friends too. Very happy, very happy. Let's see here. Who are we looking at next? Kyle McLean. I thought, well, like I said, I've said this more than once. Kyle's ice time is down tonight because we just weren't killing a lot of penalties tonight. So he was down to 8 minutes, but he can't do a lot with Matt on the ice. I'm not going to get into it again, but even as far as Kyle's game go, this wasn't one of his best ones, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but he plays better than what he did tonight. So, uh, yeah. Pager. Well, man, he's really answered the bell 6, 7 games ago when all these injuries went down. He's come through in spades for us. He really has. Nice goal by Pager tonight. 18 minutes of ice time, 29 shifts, one block shot, two shots on net. And him and Anders look great together. So really thankful for JG answering the bell. He's really answered the bell big time. Casey Cizikas, once again, I thought he was better tonight. I thought he was better tonight, but it's still not good enough. It's still not I can't really expect him to do what he did when he was younger with that energy and everything, with the hitting and the forward checking and that. It just seems like everything Casey does is wrong this year. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. However, on the positive side, looks like Casey was a +2 tonight. So anytime that happens, that's a good thing. So like I said, thought it was a bit better game, just not a whole lot. And then I know we can get more out of Casey, and I guess I'll just keep pushing him until I get it. Ryan Pullock, what a guy! What a guy! What a guy! He's really doing it for this team. But his ice time was down tonight. Everybody's ice time as a defenseman was down tonight, which is a good thing. So basically, we had Pollock with 22 and a half minutes, Dobson with 23, almost 24, Mayfield with 21, 20, Shalosky with 15, Hutton with 13, and George with 14. George had a big dip, and there was a reason for George's dip because, wow, it's just rookie mistakes. But I gotta give Isaiah I don't know, shout out about this because man, when you give a giveaway, they are something spectacular. They're not just a giveaway. They're like a giveaway to Connor McDavid all by himself. That giveaway he gave tonight was just as bad as the McDavid one, but rookie mistakes. Rookie mistakes. And then I see him getting hunted down, chasing a puck into our end, and he pulled a move that just left the guy in his dust. The guy went right off his skates, sliding into the corner. And a lot of positives coming from Isaiah, a lot of positives coming from him. So I'm not going to get down on him for that. But man, oh man, those are some. He's yet to get bitten for one of them. Which is so hard to believe because the three that I'm thinking of in particular were prime grade A scoring chances. So he's got a little bit of luck of the Irish on his side as well. So, but this is to be expected from a rookie. I'm not upset with it at all. I'm taking all the pluses that he's doing and looking at those instead. The skating, he's not 100% physical, but he's definitely not shy to it either. So I'll give him that. Noah Dobson, I thought played better tonight. Better tonight. Pulled himself an assist. Got his ice time was down. Him and Pollock in particular had their ice brought down tonight because our fifth and sixth and fourth guys have shown they can take a little bit more, and they were given it tonight. So, you look at Grant Hutton, there's 14 minutes, and you got George at 14 minutes. Now, George was up around 24 minutes and he was up around 20 minutes, but you can see the little rookie mistakes starting to seep in. And I know why Patrick has just reined him back just a little bit, give him a little time to think about some of the things he's doing out there. But Grant Hutton, I tell you, I think he's just playing fantastic defense for us. And to get 2 assists tonight, good for Grant. Like, well done. Well done. And let's see, it looks like a big plus number there too for Mr. Hutton. That looks like a +3 to me. So great defensive game. Really good on the offense. So to be able to do that in 15 minutes of ice time, really well done, Grant. Really well done. Chalosky, he had his typical giveaways that he normally does. I think I only saw one or two tonight, though. He does have a very calming presence for getting the puck out. He doesn't panic, and he will make a good move to get the puck out. So I thought once again, I thought Chalosky for the two prior games was pretty good, and I thought tonight he was pretty good as well. And his ice time reflects that, almost 16 minutes of ice time. So Good job. Scotty Mayfield, Scotty Orr gets himself a goal. Way to go, Scott. So happy to see you rewarded for all the hardcore labor work that you do on the defensive side of the puck. So, well earned goal for Scotty tonight, even though he had a good chuckle about it. I mean, that puck literally went from the going towards the left post right over to the right post. That was a big deflection. But you take them how you can get them. You shoot the puck at the net. You never know what can happen. Hey, you might score a goal. You might score a goal like Scotty did tonight. Varley had me worried a little bit, tiny bit, but then it was funny because as soon as he let in that first goal tonight, I thought back to 3 years immediately. I thought, oh man, he did this 3 years ago. And I think it happened like about 4 times that year. And I'm telling you, every time he had that happen to him, he basically shut him down for the rest of the game. It's the weirdest thing. So Farley could have had a couple of shutouts by not letting in that first shot of the game. So maybe get on your toes there, Farley. But great game. We got the best backup in the NHL, bar none. So great job, Barley. And Ilya gets himself a rest. We beat a good team. We're over 500. We are over 500. We are 7-6-4. 7-6-4. And we lost all our guys after game 5. So 7-6-4. They're hanging around. They're doing even a little more than hanging around. They're up there with the upper echelon mediocre teams. So impressive. Impressive. We just got to keep hanging on and make our way through this. And we can't let our guard down on the rest of this West Coast swing or let's get as much as we can out of it. Let's go for the upsets. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? Seattle's very beatable. So let's hope we put it together. It's gorgeous weather here on the coast. The guys are going to get an extra day off in Seattle. It's a great city to tour around. I love the fisherman's market down there and everything. Seattle's a great city. So they'll get lots of rest and they should be ready and raring to go. And hopefully they'll be as amped up as they were tonight. All right, well, that's pretty much all I got for you. I'm a little concerned about my intro music. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to miss my doing my. Maybe I'll throw a Canadian Islander fan in there when I did that. Do it at the end of the video. Anyway, that's what I got. Yeah, it's late in the West Coast. All my friends from New York are fast asleep right now, so I'm just gonna put this video together, have it out for you for the morning news for you. Very exciting night. It's always good for me because everybody around here knows that I'm an Islander fan. So if I can walk around Vancouver and Vancouver Island with all my Islanders gear on, nobody can say a freaking word to me. Not a word. And I love it. Anyway, I hope you guys are excited. I hope everybody got to see tonight's game. I hope people didn't go to bed early or anything because it really was a great effort by the Islanders tonight. But anyway, I hope you're as excited as me. You guys and girls, y'all take care out there and peace out. Yacht.